When you retire, you may get a chance to go to football heaven. This is football heaven.
Hey guys, welcome to a special 150th Mission episode. I'm your host, Jameer Howerton, and as always, we have a great episode for you. It's Enshrinement Week, powered by Johnson Controls, and it's time to honor the 2022 class of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Check this out. We got a special mission today because not only is it cool, but it's through the lens of yours truly. I have had the golden opportunity of covering these amazing stories from February all the way till now. I can't believe it. The speeches, the gold jackets, the bus will be unveiled right here throughout the entire week in Canton, Ohio. So if you can't make it, don't worry about it, because the mission, as well as all of the Pro Football Hall of Fame social media outlets, will be bringing you live content, exclusive content. And oh yeah, after the week is over, we're going to do the best of the best, a recap. And today we'll hear from the presenters as well as the Hall of Famers who did the surprise knocks on the door to usher these men into this illustrious fraternity. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the Mission Podcast.
This is a big one here.
Yeah, he is a big one. He's a very big one. I tell you what, I'm over the top thrilled to be able to knock on the door and welcome Tony Boselli into this amazing fraternity.
You know what's so cool about this piece right here is because Tony Boselli has been waiting 6 consecutive years to be named into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And one of the cool things is not only does he have his fellow Hall of Famer, who is a former USC grad, offensive lineman great, but he's been compared to Anthony Munoz ever since he stepped on the campus of USC. So let's check out this knock.
You know how I feel about your game, man, right?
Yeah.
I've told you year after year. Welcome to
Two
camp.
gentle giants. Yeah, you know how you feel about his game, Anthony, because it's been compared to you.
Man, no one else.
Thank you. And it is an
That's
honor
awesome.
and a privilege, man.
You have no
That's
idea.
awesome.
It's my
do
privilege.
this.
The fact that I will be included
Wow.
with guys like
Wow.
Anthony Munoz.
You know, it's so crazy because I had a chance to talk to Tony, and Tony really made it clear, like, you know, it's almost like the wait is over. And no matter how long you wait, no matter how long, you know, for 6 consecutive years, you were getting that phone call that you were not in this year, you were not in this year. And I think his presenter, Mark Brunell, said it the best. This kind of just washed away all of that energy and ushered in a new overall joy, a feeling of joy, because, you know, you see Tony here, he's with his family.
And the other greats
And-
who ever played this game is unreal, because
Yeah.
since I can remember, all I ever want to do is play football. And I love the game. I still love the game. It's given me more than I could ever
Wow.
give it, and to be a part of the history for all eternity, it's pretty cool.
First Jag ever. Yeah.
First Jag ever.
Jaguars.
You can see
Everyone
he's fighting
knows
back the
that,
tears. You can see he's fighting back the tears, but he's smiling because you know how it is, man. You're an offensive lineman. You don't want to show any tears.
Tough sledding a little bit lately.
That's great.
Jaguars need a little optimism.
Big up Tony, the pride of USC.
To represent the fan base,
Wow.
the organization, and the Khan family, and all my guys, all the teammates I played with, it's remarkable.
I think he'll try to play it off at first, you know, because he's a funny dude by nature,
Oh,
man.
this is really cool.
a jokester, but I think it'll hit him.
You know what's so cool about this? We didn't get a chance to talk to Charles Woodson, but we did catch up with Genesis Butler, the wife of Leroy Butler. What was the day like? Because the Knox took on a different look this past year, and you actually knew before him.
It was stressful. So I'm gonna tell you like this. So he was saying, he said, if I ever, he didn't say if I ever, he said, when I get in, and it looks like they're doing it a little different this year. He said, I wanted to be at your parents' house. So I said, what can we do to get him over here? And my mom came with an idea, and I came with an idea. My daughter said, why don't I just have him come to my school? Said someone wants an autograph. He said, well, you know what? In the morning, I got to go and, go to Sierra School, and someone wants an autograph. So I'm just going to go and do that. When we got to my parents' house, and we had to come up with something to keep him there. So we had the school involved. I didn't tell her what was going on. I just said, could you just let Leroy know that if he could bring him at this time, not at the regular time, but at this time. And, because we're doing something. And he was like, oh, okay. So you want him there earlier? She's like, yeah, if you can bring him earlier, and that'll be great, because we're doing something at school and we just want to do it before everybody gets. He was like, oh, okay, no problem. So we also still had to get something to keep him there. We did a mock interview. So the person was doing a mock interview, and while he was sitting there, I told my dad, I said, do not answer the door. Tell him to get the door, because you're busy doing something. And so the knock on the door came, and he looked back at my dad, wondering where he is. And my dad said, oh, could you get the door? And he said, sure.
He's another guy who I was honored to interview over the past consecutive years, and when he wasn't nominated in. And I got to be honest with you, the last interview that I did with him, he was in all black. His set was all black, and I was really scared to interview him because I really wanted him to be in the Hall of Fame. And it's not about us. I mean, like, we have no, we can't say who's going to be in the Hall and not be in the Hall, but it was like, we're so grateful that he granted us with the interview, but you could tell he really wanted it. And after talking to his wife, all that went in trying to surprise Leroy was a trip, but she did the best job that she could. So let's check this out, because we didn't hear from Charles Woodson. That's great. Oh, he got a fresh cut too. Look at Leroy. Leroy got a fresh one. Leroy was ready. Let me tell you something. He may not have known he was surprised, but he was camera ready. He had the tight shape up, looking good. It's a guy who was Forrest Gump before Forrest Gump. We even got a chance to meet Forrest Gump.
Vodka,
This
man.
guy
Come on
had
out
braces
here,
on his
man.
knees, man. He was bullied as a little kid. We got a chance to catch up with Sylvester Pickney, who is one of Leroy's high school teammates. And Sylvester, man, he really spoke highly of Leroy. He talked about a play that Leroy had in 10th grade that he knew he was going to go to the next level.
Six vodka, man. Come on out here, man. Come on out here. Man, come on. It's cold out here. Come on out here, though, man. You don't need no bath. What's up, boy?
I've waited my whole life growing up, because I remember discussions with my mom. I wanted to play in the NFL, and it was almost like having a lottery ticket, and they give it to you as a baby, and you can cash it as a man. So every year something negative would happen as a kid, being bullied for being in poverty. And I'm down south and going through racism and all this stuff. And every year my sister Vicky would write NFL and fold and put it under my pillow. But I tell you what, when I saw Woodson, it was something that came over me like they come in to cash your ticket that I had when I was a kid. It just popped in my head.
Oh, if Charles Woodson comes knocking on your door, you already know what it is, Leroy. You in, man. You in. The Lambeau Leap.
You think he'll be, because he's the first official going to Canton.
Well, Art, I'm sure Art will be thrilled. But Art's not an excitable guy.
The man, the myth, the legend, Paul Tagliabue, commissioner, as we call him. As a kid growing up in the equipment room, And I got to take a moment here to stop this, because as a kid growing up in the equipment room and you're like shining these footballs and you see the commissioner's name, Paul Tagliabue, burnt in that football, and to one day have the opportunity to interview him, shake his hand and say, welcome to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And then to see him go and actually welcome Art McNally, the godfather of officiating. I mean, this man has taken officiating to the next level. And Paul really spoke highly of Art. He spoke how thorough he was, and just the film study sessions. I got so much from talking to Commissioner Paul Tagliabue.
Well, Art, I'm sure Art will be thrilled. But Art's not an excitable guy in the normal course, let's put it that way. I'm sure he'd be very, very excited because he's so passionate about the game. He's so passionate about what he did in the league.
You know, it's so funny. We were told by the executive producer of Hall of Fame Productions, Mr. George Veras, about how Art McNally all week long, and you're looking at a man who's 90 plus years old, and God bless him that he is still here to accept this honor. But you hear the rich stories of how he was aware that something was going on, something was going to happen, and each day he was telling his family members, check the mailbox, check the mailbox. So he knew that there was a possible chance that he was going to get a knock on his door, and who other than his dear friend Paul Tagliabue to come welcome him into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. This is a huge honor right here. Great to cover this story.
But normally one of his great attributes is if everyone else is excited, he's calm.
Arthur?
Yes. Arthur.
Someone's here to see you.
Oh, how are you? How are you? I'm great. How are you? You looking
Wow.
good?
You know, and that's another thing he talked about is that Paul Tagliabue spoke about this, where is that they would give the officials a place to stay during the week, and how they're working long hours, they're breaking down a lot of film. But Art McNally, he would always go home to his family and be with his family. That's the one thing he says. Yes, he was about his football and he was about his job, but he would always go home to his family and be there. And you can see the love surrounded by Mr. McNally.
Well, they got me here to do something very special for me and you. Really? Yep, you're being inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It shouldn't be a shock. I know it was a shock to me too, but when I got in, but you getting in is something that's so well deserved. You know, I talked to men all over the league, from Jim Tunney to Mike Pereira to people like that, and you have their respect in ways that very few people have respect.
Yeah.
And that was Art. When I talked to people, I said, give me 2 words about Art McNally. It's not that he was funny. It's not that he was hardworking. It was that he was honest and the integrity.
It's going to be special because if anyone deserves this recognition, this honor, is Richard Seymour, because he brought so much to the game. You might not be able to look at it from a statistical standpoint.
It's so funny because Ty and I really had a funny conversation about this. There's so much, and I'm going to shut up and I'm going to let this play out because Ty's a trip. This is
he brought so much to the game. You might not be able to look at it from a statistical standpoint of where 140, 150 sacks, but he did so much more.
Big shout out to
it's
Steve
like,
Weish, NFL
you know, he
Films.
took on double teams. He made our defense that much better. Richard Seymour is a Hall of Famer and rightfully deserved.
I'm excited, man. Let's get it. I mean, I'm nervous. I got the butterflies. It's like I'm about to get a knock. But
first and foremost, he's knocking on the door like he's the police, number one. Number two, I want you to peep Richard Seymour's face.
It's like I'm about to get the knock, but I'm doing the knocking this time. Hey, I'm excited. Watch this, guys. Let's go.
This is look at that. Look at that. That right there, he was certified surprise. I spoke to Richard. I said, Richard, man, you just had this blank look on your face. He was like, yeah, Ty, what are you doing here? But then I think it just all came to him and it was all mathematically falling into place. Like, wait a minute, hold on.
Caesar Leeds, holla at your boy.
Oh, man.
You know why I'm here. Hey. You know, obviously, when you think about a moment like this, you think about so many other people.
Look at that. He's reading it. Oh, man, the tears. He's overjoyed with emotions. He's overjoyed. And his wife, another one, had a heck of a time trying to get him to the party, meaning trying to get him calmed down so he could answer the door and be present for the knock.
People, you know, I always thought I had pretty decent perspective in life, but like, I don't even know how to feel. Like, I really don't. I'm not, it's really overwhelming.
Ty calls him Big Sexy because he's so clean. Look at Richard. He's so clean, got the fresh shape up, the black polo on with the gold flying. Oh, now this is the comedy right here. So what we didn't see was earlier, before Ty went to knock on Richard's door, he was hating on his Georgia Bulldogs because the Georgia Bulldogs, as everybody knows, are the national champions. And I think they beat up on the Michigan Wolverines. That's what Ty, Michigan, he represents, the Wolverines, but he was kind of salty about that. He kind of stepped on his flag, being real disrespectful, but then Ty had to kind of double back. And you notice he got that cigar in his mouth. He doubled back, he showed improve and paid homage to the Georgia Bulldogs because now Richard's in the Hall of Fame. But all day. Now, this shoot took place early in the morning. And as you see, Ty had a cigar in his mouth and they stayed together, old teammates, Richard and Ty, the whole entire day, just laughing, talking, reminiscing, and enjoying cigars.
All right, might as well put this thing back. Just be this fair and square. He's my teammate now. Oh man, what's that? That way? There we go. You can have it back now. I'm gonna give him that one. He made the Hall of Fame.
I think as a player, you always play to earn the respect of not only your teammates, but your opponents. And I think this honor for me is it encompasses all of that, and you just think about the legacy. You think about your kids, your grandkids. You'll always be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
I'm a believer that there's always components to being a Hall of Fame. In two completely different generations, about a generation and a half between times when he was coaching, he took different teams to Super Bowls and raised them to a level that they were never at before. Dick Vermeil belongs in the Hall of Fame.
Be the one that followed. Coach V looked me in the eye and said, "The reason you made this team is because I feel there's something special about you, something different. And I couldn't let you go without seeing if it was true. Coach, you know I love you, and I'm indebted to you for giving me that chance." I spent my entire career trying to prove you right. In a business dominated by head decisions, thanks for following your heart.
Kurt Warner. We didn't get a chance to catch up with him, but this right here was a very exciting day because we learned that Coach Dick Vermeil, he lives kind of like over the river and through the woods, the grandmama's house we go. It's kind of like a lot of twists and turns. So the production team was really kind of fighting. They were on time, but they were a little off time because the directions got kind of crazy. And as you can see, Dick Vermeil was outside when I got to pause there because everybody else received the knock. And they were trying to keep Dick Vermeil, Coach Vermeil, in the house, but he was getting antsy. He didn't know what was going on. So, he was feeling in a position where he was like, wait, what's going on here? Like, I got chores to do.
Vermeil belongs in the Hall of Fame.
And as you can see, Kurt Warner caught him outside.
Oh, Christmas. Holy mackerel.
Nobody's been more instrumental in me getting this gold jacket than you have been.
Well, it goes both ways.
Well, so it is
without
an honor.
Wow. So crazy. Coach Vermeil didn't get a chance to finish his thought, but if you notice, he says, without. If I'm a betting man, he's probably saying, without me, there's no you. Without you, there's no me. And to see that relationship there, and that's amazing to have that opportunity.
To welcome you into
in the boondocks out here.
The greatest fraternity in sports. as part of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, class of 2022.
What an effort you guys made to get here. My God, not many people even know this, where we are.
I don't think they've had anybody sneak up on them yet. It's so cool for me that they changed this year and allowed me to welcome you in.
Well,
it's very cool. It is very cool that President Jim Porter gave the opportunity for Hall of Famers to actually welcome in the new class. And when I say behind the scenes look, this is an exclusive behind the scenes look. We are very thankful that the Vermeils allowed us to come into their home. I mean, if this isn't the ultimate log cabin, I mean, this is, I want to come chill with Coach Vermeil and drink some of his wine.
well, hell, I love you. I don't appreciate you. I love you.
I love you too.
Wow, too bad this didn't happen before the movie was finished. We could include it in the movie.
Coach Vermeil's already steps ahead.
make
Like,
another
man, we
movie.
could've shot this.
Wasn't old enough to go.
Look at all the history on his walls.
Here's Carol.
Wow.
With Dante Hall.
Uh-oh.
Where does going into the Pro Football Hall of
Uh-oh.
Fame stack
Hold
up
on, I'm
against
gonna
all
stop it
this?
right there. Because if you notice that camera kind of went in, because Coach Vermeil, he's known to cry. He's going to cry on you. Isaac Bruce told me this. We had a lunch and learn right here at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And Coach Vermeil, I kid you not, every 5 minutes, he just started crying.
Well, it's the ultimate.
And rightfully
But
so.
all of this created the opportunity to be with you in the hall. So, all these trophies and awards and pictures were a result of the kids that I coached, the coaches I worked with, their efforts that allowed me to now have this kind of an opportunity.
You get choked up listening to Coach Dick Vermeil. I mean, there's just no other like it. He's just, there's no one like him. No one.
To now have this kind of an opportunity.
If he feels anything that I feel.
This right here, let me stop and put this in his total perspective here. This is Charles Haley, guys. I'm talking Dallas Cowboys legend, 49ers legend, the man who basically had more rings at one time than Tom Brady and all of them. A ring for every finger. But Charles really like embraced this opportunity. And we talked to Charles, and Charles got so choked up and emotional about having the opportunity to knock on the door of his guy, Bryant Young. And you can see Bryant was so excited when he opened up the door, but it was just to hear Charles talk about having that opportunity. It was like Charles was reliving this moment for himself all over again. Like Ty Law said,
If he feels anything that I felt when someone knocked on my door at the Hall of Fame, man, you're going to see so much excitement, so much joy. But, you're going to have to take a step back and just the magnitude of it, it's just a heavy weight and, and then, the emotional part comes out.
Hey, welcome to the greatest institution known for a football player. The NFL Hall of Fame, baby! Welcome.
Thank you, brother.
Well deserved.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, this is my why. This is why I do what I do, because they're important to me.
Hey, you haven't seen anything
Check
yet.
it out.
Well, hey, the best is yet to come, baby.
Yeah, well,
Hey, they gotta get that ugly face done too with a bus. Oh my God.
It's
Charles
been a
got
journey.
choked up.
And,
Charles is
to
man.
think about, the almost that could not have been with the injury occurring and having a chance to overcome that, and then all the different teams that we played on in each given year. And
what makes this so special, guys, is behind the scenes look, because you're actually watching the speeches being written in real time. I mean, Bryant Young, this is my why. Look, hold on, let's go back to that family shot. I got to go back to that family shot. That was amazing. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm scrolling here, but look at this. This is my why. This is my why. Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, this is my why. This is my. This is why I do what I do, because they're important to me.
Hey, you haven't seen anything yet.
Well,
hey, the best is yet to come, baby.
Yeah, well,
The best is yet to come.
They gotta get that ugly face done too with a bus. Oh my God.
Wow. beautiful person inside and out. You know, this class is truly the class of men of character, integrity. They embody all of the Pro Football Hall of Fame values: integrity, respect, courage, discipline, just in the pursuit of excellence. These men are just, they embody all those values.
The people and the organization, and just really being your best for them. And that was my impetus. Every opportunity I had a chance to be on the practice field, to be in the games, was to really give it my all and try and help our team win, the organization. And then you talk about the fans. I mean, that's incredibly important. And they were the glue that kind of kept it all together. You know, when you hear those fans screaming and yelling and they wanting more, it fires you up, like, and it inspires you to go out there and play.
Rain, hail, sleet, or snow, in the heat, they're there. Uh-oh. This is great. I gotta stop it right there. See, the backstory of this is that Bryant Young, as a rookie, was, I mean, you can see he's a big guy, but if you can picture back in the day when he was a rookie and those old vets used to try to get him and push him into the cold tub, because that's what vets do. It's a little hazing, if you will, nothing big, but it's just kind of welcoming them into the National Football League. Well, they never was able to get Bryant Young. So this was a way of Charles Haley paying him back and saying, welcome to the Hall of Fame, baby. Welcome to the Hall of Fame, baby. Wow. It's been an amazing show. We hope you really enjoyed this exclusive look back of all this rich content. And like I said, if you can't make it to Canton, you'll be able to see all this rich content on the Mission, as well as the Pro Football Hall of Fame social media channel. But if you're in Canton, tickets are still available. Please visit profootballhof.com/tickets for all your enshrinement information. We now leave you with a look at the calls that were made to the families of two deceased members of this year's 2022 class, Mr. Cliff Branch and Mr. Sam Mills. May you continue to rest in peace. I'm Jameer Howerton. Thank you for joining us on the Mission.
This is football heaven.
Hello.
Hello, is Elaine in?
This is Elaine.
Hi, Elaine. My name is Jim Porter. I am the president of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. How are you?
We're doing really good out here in Canton, Ohio. And I am very pleased to call to tell you that your brother Cliff has been put into the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2022.
I'm trying not to cry. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Mills.
Yes.
My name is Jim Porter. I am the president of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. How are you today?
All right, good.
Good. I'm hoping we're going to make your day even just a little bit better than good, as we are very pleased to tell you that your father, Sam Mills, has been elected into the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2022.
Oh, man. That is awesome. That is awesome. My family will be very